Hi everyone, it's Lauren and today I have a book haul video for you. I'm sure I'll have another one of these videos in January because I have put a couple of books on my old Christmas list and I also like to treat myself to some books in January as well because everybody is putting up their best reads of 2017 videos, so that just gets my old fingers tingly. But I have been sent some books by some publishers, so I just thought I would show them to you now, just in case you need some ideas for books you might like to gift or some that you might want to gift to yourself. So the first few books I have here really encapsulate that. So this is a set of books which has been released by Vintage Classics just in time for Christmas this year, and it is a redesign of some Charles Dickens novels. So this one I have here is Oliver Twist. They've sent me 3, but there's 6 in the selection. So you have Oliver Twist, Hard Times, David Copperfield, Great Expectations, and A Christmas Carol, and A Tale of Two Cities. So these are completely beautiful. These cover designs have been screen printed by printmaker Ellie Curtis, and they're all slightly different and have kind of themes from the book in front of them. So I think as a set, these are really pretty, especially if you know someone who is really into Dickens or you know likes some of these specific books, and they have this kind of black edging here. So these are really cute. The next book was sent to me by Pan Macmillan, and that is This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay. Now this is diary entries from a junior doctor in the NHS, and I didn't realise how literal it was when I looked at this book. It really is specific dates and diary entries spanning a number of years, it looks like. I recently read When Breath Becomes Air by Paul Kalanithi, which was about a surgeon who kind of realises that he's suffering from cancer. So that really piqued my interest in medical writing in general, and this book has been absolutely everywhere. It's had a lot of hype, a lot of praise, and I kind of want to learn a little bit more about the British NHS service because it's a thing I love, and I would really like to understand what it is like to be a junior doctor, because you read a lot of things in the news, and there's a lot of discussions about saving our NHS and what the government are doing. So, oh, nearly lost it. I would like to read something from the first-hand perspective, someone who's been inside that system. The next lot of books I'm going to show you in 2 sets, and that is because they've been sent to me from the Costa Book Awards. So I'm really pleased to say that I'm going to be working with Costa this year, which is something I've not done before. And what I'm going to be doing is promoting 2 of their specific Book Awards shortlists. So I'm going to be reading and reviewing the first novel category and the general novel category. So I have the books that are in those shortlists here. So let's start with first novel, since it's next to me, and it kind of works chronologically. So the books that have been shortlisted for first novel are Montpellier Parade by Carl Geary, and I'm currently in the middle of reading this. This is set in Ireland, and it's about a young teenager who kind of meets this older, posh Englishwoman. Their paths collide, and then it's kind of about how that's changing both of their lives. So this is quite an interesting one, reserving my judgment on that one. We also have The Haunting of Henry Twist by Rebecca F. John, and this is about, there's 2 books here that are set kind of in between the world wars actually, which is very interesting. So this is set in kind of 1926. It's about a woman whose wife dies, and then he meets this stranger who can only remember his name and this Henry Twist's name, and so it's kind of unravelling the mystery behind that. So this sounds really interesting. And the other book that fits in that time period is The Clocks in This House All Go Backwards by Sham Brooks. Now this, I don't really understand the blurb. It sounds like a young girl kind of goes into the country and meets these odd people, and it looks like it has a lot of references to The Wizard of Oz, so I'm really intrigued by this one. And then the last book shortlisted in that character category is Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman, which I recently read and really enjoyed. So I will be kind of reviewing all of these books in a single video in the next coming weeks. And the next shortlisted category, the novel category, I've got 4 more books here. So the first one is Under a Pole Star by Steph Penny. This is very interesting. This is about a woman who crossed the Arctic Circle and then years later kind of comes back to lead an expedition into Greenland. So it's an historical novel. This is in the 19th century. And to be honest, this is probably something I would never pick up. I'm never really interested in kind of adventurous novels. So I'm quite intrigued by this, and I'm very pleased to have the opportunity to read it. We also have Home Fire by Camilla Shamshi. Now this has been everywhere, a lot of praise sung for this book, and this is a modern retelling of Antigone, which a lot of people study at school. I've never actually read Antigone, so part of me doesn't know whether I should kind of look at a plot of Antigone before going into this, or if I should just read it cold. But yes, very excited about this one. Another book which I've already read and would highly recommend is Tin Man by Sarah Winman. This is about 3 young people, 2 men and a woman, who kind of meet each other, fall in love, have different kind of relationships. And this is really interesting. It's a very quiet novel looking at kind of the nature of love and what love is. So that's very beautiful. And the final book on this shortlist is Reservoir 13 by John McGregor, which again has had so much praise. This has appeared on so many lists of best books that came out last year. It was longlisted for the Man Booker Prize. It's a story about a young girl who goes missing, but it's not really about the tragedy about her. It's about all of the people that's left behind. So not just that family, but all of the other families in the local area, and how kind of this mystery or this awful thing that's happened has affected all of them, even though their lives kind of continue. So that is a real mix of genres and styles there for the Costa Awards. It's going to be really interesting reading all of those books and trying to compare them with each other. So the winners of all of the different categories are announced on the 2nd of January, and then from the different Costa categories there is an overall book of the year awarded on the 30th of January as well. So stay tuned for some of my videos on those books. I would love to hear from you if you've read any of them already. Some of these have been around for a while. So that'd be really interesting. I hope that you're all doing well, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!